What is up, you beautiful bunch, and welcome back to Budget Cars and Bikes and a new project. As you will have seen from the intro and the thumbnail, we've managed to buy ourselves a new smashed up car. So what have we got this time? Well, as you can see, it is a bit of a mess. The kind of intro photograph shows you as I won the car and how much I paid for it and the damage as much as you could see, as it were, on that picture. And I decided to go for it. You'll see from the price what we paid with shipping and all the fees that you obviously get with buying a car at Salvage auction. It came in around about 1900 quid, just below 1900 quid, I think, which I don't think is too bad. I'd be really interested to see your comments in the comment section as to whether you think that's a bargain, whether you think I overpaid. We'll go through the damage obviously together right now, and we'll kind of try to work that out between us, if we say, because I've already got some parts on the way and I've already spent money that I shouldn't have spent, didn't need to spend, and now I've got to try to work out a way to get that back. Anyway, I digress. We will look around the car together. As you can see, there are always parts of a car that you didn't see in the pictures that when it arrives you think, oh bugger, I'm gonna have to get one of those. This is a classic case in point here. This little bit of trim here, that's all it is basically, is this little bit of chrome here. It's snapped off the top here. I've had to order a new cover for the fog light here. It's only 20 quid. I'm hoping I can just pop this out and then basically replace that little chrome strip from the new light, as it were, without having to get in behind the bumper. It shouldn't be too difficult to get behind here anyway, because as you can see, it's kind of hanging off as it is anyway, which is actually a good thing, because we do need to replace this light, because that's something else I didn't see in the pictures, and I don't think there's any way you could have really have seen that. But the light lens here is all smashed and cracked and doesn't actually work, because they never show you with the lights on, well, very seldom anyway. But as you can see, that light is broken, so that is another 50 quid. So essentially that's 70 quid I didn't budget for when I bought this car. There's always going to be little things like that. I mean, I'm lucky that's only 20 quid. That was 50 quid. We have got a wing in colour which has just arrived as well. I've not unpacked that yet, so I don't know what that's all about, but I'm hoping that's going to be okay. That was, I think, 60 quid shipped as well, and it does have the energy badge on there. It's exactly the same. That should be nice and simple. I also went off and bought myself a new alloy wheels. As you can see, it's got 16-inch alloys on there in reasonable condition, but obviously that has taken a knock, so they put the spare on. I assumed that the alloy wheel was complete trash basically, so I went off and bought one for 60 quid, and then I realized the original alloy wheel is actually sat in the boot where this one was. I haven't checked it out. I don't know if it's damaged. I know it's got a puncture, but I could have, if the wheel is okay, I could have literally spent 12 quid on a puncture repair at my local tyre shop instead of 60 quid on a new tyre. The good thing, I guess, is I could probably get the puncture repaired or not and just sell the wheel for 30 quid and get half the money back, or I could keep this as a spare for a future project or anything, because as you can see, that has got a brand new tyre on it. So what I might do is use the wheel I've got, puncture repair the alloy that's in the back there, and then basically keep this for a spare project or sell it on or whatever. Anyway, I mean, that's something for the future. Obviously the most important thing is this wing here, and as I said, I paid 60 quid for that. I've had to basically cable tie the inner liner there as well up so we could drive it, because that was a bit of a nightmare. And I did notice while doing that this little bit here, I'm hoping yeah, there we are. This little bit here that holds the liner on has fallen away from the bumper, which is a bit of a shame. I'm going to have to try to glue that based on how it's glued in the other side. I don't think it's a huge drama. I'd plastic weld it, maybe something like that. I'm not quite sure, but the good thing is, because the bumper's out of the way here, as you can see, we can get in behind there, change that fog light if we need to, or just change the chrome clip, as I said. But the wing itself shouldn't be too difficult. It looks to me, we're just getting underneath here for a second, guys. It looks to me like there are a couple of bolts on the top. There's probably one underneath this light. The light's got to come out anyway. That's going to be made far easier by the fact that the bumper's hanging off. The engine bay looks okay. I've checked the oil cap. There's nothing underneath there that would have me worried, should we say. So it's just literally, I hope, a case of undoing a few bolts, putting the new wing on, putting the new light on, getting that trim fixed, putting it all back together, and she'll be done. Is it going to be that simple though? These things seldom are in my experience. The only other thing I noticed, if you see that little bit of chrome trim there, follow it around. That bit of bumper there needs to go just back in slightly there, because it's just popped out. But I don't imagine that's a huge drama. I don't think we're talking new bumpers here. I think we just need to lift this black bit of plastic off. Let me just prop that up with me in a second. Lift this bit of black plastic off here, pop that back in, pop that back down. That should be done. And now we'll give this whole engine bay a really, really good clean and a polish and make sure that looks lovely. Nothing wrong this side. There doesn't appear to be any damage along this side here. There are no scratches or dents or chips in the windscreen at all. It looks like the door has been saved from any damage as well. I keep catching it obviously on the wing there when I open it, and I imagine that's exactly what happened. A lot of that damage would have been done with people. Let me just see if I can open up this car a sec, guys. As you can see, when you open the door, you can see exactly where a lot of that damage came from, people opening and shutting the door. But luckily, it hasn't seemingly done any damage here. The only issue I've got, or potentially, is this little bracket here that will hold this part here, which this bumper clips into. I think we might need to get another one of these bumper clips here and then just bend this back out. But I'm hoping that the new wing will have that on it, so we don't need to worry about that. But as I said, these look like they're going to be really, really easy to fix, but we will go through it together. What I'll do is in the second video, I will strip this car down, get it up on jacks basically, strip it out, get the wheel off, get the wing off, get the light out, show you all the new stuff, and then we'll get it on in the same video. We'll get it all back together hopefully, and then we'll give the car a really good wash and a polish, because as you can see, it is absolutely bloody filthy. So this is just literally the first impressions video as it has arrived, to show you exactly what we've got for our money. The wing mullered, of course. Luckily the door is fine, the wing mirror is fine. There's a couple of little chips there, but I mean it's a 10-year-old car at the end of the day. So we're looking at new headlight, fog lights surround, new wing. I've got the alloy, pop that back on, fix that little bit of trim on the front bumper bit there. We're talking probably a day's work, I would think, at best, but I will time lapse you through all of that when we strip it and rebuild it. And then I've got to try to fix some of this, and I'm hoping a lot of this, even if I just get a little bit of liquid on my thumb, most of that I think will polish out. Let's have a look around the rest of the car as well. As you can see, it is in extraordinarily good condition, apart from that big clunk at the front there. But I think this is going to be a really, really easy project. There are a couple of little scuffs on the back bumper. Again, once it's polished, I don't think you're going to see those. We'll give it a really good wash and a polish. There's some bird poop on the side, as there always is outside my house for some bloody reason. And in the boot, we are missing the rear parcel shelf, which is a real bloody shame, because they, believe it or not, are around about 40 to 50 quid to buy. So another 40 or 50 quid I've got to find. I find it extraordinary. I think they steal them at the bloody salvage yards, because often these cars come without a back parcel shelf. It's so easy for one of the guys there to say, right, we'll have that out of there, and just whack it onto Facebook or eBay. You know, why would this car not have a back parcel shelf? Doesn't make any sense to me at all. It doesn't look like it's had any animals in there or anything like that. I can only assume. I'm not being too derogatory about the salvage yards, but it must be a temptation. Anyway, it's just bizarre how they all often come without a back parcel shop. But another, 50 quid, shall we say? But the boot, very good condition. It is a 5-door, as you can see as well. That door opens fine. There's no issues there. The back of the car is in very, very good order. The carpets are good. The seats are good. There's nothing going on with the headline that I would be worried about. We'll jump in the front as well. I keep doing that thing where I try to open the door a little bit wider, and then I remember the reason I can't open it any wider is because the bloody wing's mullered. Electric windows, electric wing mirrors. This is, of course, the Energy Edition. We have got front and rear spots, as in spotlights. The dash is pretty usual for a small Vauxhall. I'll just get the key in for a second, guys. The key is a little bit moody. I mean, you'd think they'd update these keys, bearing in mind this is a 2013. Let's get that ignition on. There are no lights on the dash whatsoever, which is a bloody great big bonus. There's no airbags that have gone off. We've got a kind of multimedia setup over here with Bluetooth integration, obviously for your phone, that kind of stuff. But again, this bloody orange, you know, if you've been subscribed for a while, I hate orange in cars on the display. I think it's so bloody tragic. There's a couple of little marks in this kind of entertainment and ventilation kind of area down here, which is a bit of a shame. I'll try to polish most of those out. I think they should be okay. Generally speaking though, not a bad place to be, I think you'll agree. Not sure what's in the glove. We got a locking wheel nut, thank the bloody Lord for that. I hate it when you get a car that arrives with no locking wheel nut. But as you can see, it's got a kind of a piano black affair here. The dash is okay. What we got up here? Any light in there? No, it's only the Energy Edition. But generally speaking, we've got a USB and what looks like a jack connection down here as well. Probably for an MP3 or a USB for the radio. That's cool. Not much else going on. I think it has aircon because it has the little ice button there. There's no dedicated button that says AC by the looks of things, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that is for the AC there. I don't know if it works because we haven't started up the car yet, but check the mileage. 56,367 miles. I think you'll agree. At the price we paid that for, if you want to check that out, look at the thumbnail. But the price we paid for this car, I think we've done all right. And the cherry on the cake, as it were, is look what I found on the boot floor. A service pack, which I think is excellent because it gives you the security codes for the radio, all that kind of good stuff. Because obviously if you take the battery off, you may not be able to get the radio working again because you haven't got the code. We've got that there. We have got a Vauxhall service book here as well. I've not gone through this, so I don't know what the service history is, but by the looks of things, we looked at this together. It was serviced at 6,498 miles. Now that's a bit odd when you consider it did 6,500 miles in its first year. I thought they did a service on these, an interim service around about 1,000 miles. I could be wrong, but obviously a year after it was registered, they did a service there, just a basic look around, I guess, and yeah, just a basic oil service. They didn't do anything else there. And then we've got one at 12,000, 18,000, 24, 31, 38, 42, 45, 51, and we had a service this year. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. We had a service literally 2 months ago. 2 months and 800 miles ago. It had a full service by the looks of it in Radstock. They did the oil. Well, it had an oil service at least 3 months ago and 800 miles ago. That's good. I like that. It had a tyre repair kit 5,000 miles ago and some coolant as well. They changed the brake fluid at 45,000 miles. They did the brake fluid at 42,000 miles. They did the air cleaner. Okay, well, I think you'll agree that is a huge bonus to have this in a car you buy at Salvage. I've never seen that before. I have never had a service book from a car I bought at Salvage, so that is a massive bonus. Let's get that in there if it'll fit. I'm not actually sure that will fit. Oh, no, okay, well, let's just leave that there for now then. All right, that is it then, guys. Let's get this turned off and get out of the car. So that's it, guys. That is our new project. I really think and hope and pray and fingers crossed and everything else crossed, this is going to be absolute piece of cake. We've got a few of the parts we need. We're just waiting on the headlight and the fog light surround there. We've got the wheel, we've got the wing. That's pretty much all we need, I think. I mean, if you've spotted anything else, please stick it in the comments. But I think that's all we need. Maybe a set of mats. The wing, as I said, was 60 quid. The headlight was 60 quid. That was 20 quid. So that's 140. I paid 60 quid for the wheel. 200 quid I've spent in parts. Now, bearing in mind what we paid for the car, we're looking roughly 2 grand to get this back on the road. It does need an MOT as well, which I stupidly thought was June 24. It's not, it's June 23, so it's only got about 3 weeks left on the MOT. Another 40 quid. So we are looking at 1,900 quid plus the 250 quid to get it fully MOT'd with all the new parts on, ready to go for the next owner for what? Under 2,200 quid. This is a £2,999 car all day long because it's a £3,999 car that if it hasn't been crunched and it's on a dealer forecourt. So I'm taking £1 grand off because it's a private sale and it's had a little knock in the wing. The good thing is I can show people the wing damage just there and say, look, all that was there, because people do get freaked out when they think about buying salvage cars. But if you can show them how little the damage was, it puts them much more at ease when it comes to buying a car like this. I mean, obviously if the whole front end is stoved in or the whole back end is curved around, people just kind of go, oh my Christ, no way. But this hopefully will be a really, really easy fix. We're not going to know, of course, until we get that wing off, which is going to be a bit of a chore in itself. I'll explain all of that to you when we do the repair, as it were. When we get this wing off, I'll show you everything underneath, how difficult that bloody wing is to get off. I've already seen a couple of videos, but I'll show you in this video as well in the second part. I hope it has been of some interest. If you want to follow this little series along, then don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, share, all that kind of good stuff, and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok as well. All the links are in the description. If you like this kind of content, as I said, consider subscribing, and you will see more on this project up and coming over the next couple of months. I would think we'll get a video out on this once every fortnight. There probably will only be 3 videos in this because I don't want to bore you with it too much. There's the intro video now, we'll do the repair video second, and then we'll take it out for a drive and I will tell you what it's like to actually drive one of these newer Corsas. All right, as I said, if you like that kind of stuff, you want to see more, consider subscribing. Follow me Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and we will catch up in a couple of weeks. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you later.